leadership, in my view, is not just about power. I don't think it's about power at all. It's about service.
Hello everyone, welcome to UNICEF Mongolia podcast. Today I'm very happy to have our newly appointed ambassador for UNICEF and Chairwoman of Monpolymet Group, Munkhnasan. Thank you so much for making time for us today.
Thank you for having me here today.
I want to start our conversation by asking you about the connection to UNICEF Mongolia and your job. How are you seeing your role with UNICEF Mongolia and what are you planning?
Great. Yeah, so we started our group of companies back in 1992 with a mission and a value system that was very much aligned with the local community development, especially catering to young engineers for the first time getting a job at our remote plants. So we had to start with helping them, establish a home in such remote areas, and that started with our united sort of mission to help develop the local areas as well. So business has always been, of course, profit and sales are important indicators, but it has always been the people in it, both within the company and outside the communities that we work together. Of course, you can't operate alone anywhere, as you have to coexist together with everybody in the community, including the herders. And this institution is very much aligned with our company's mission, vision, value, and very happy to be an ambassador with UNICEF.
Mm-hmm. We're also very happy to have you as one of our ambassadors. And I'm interested to know, because in the past you did so much to children for Mongolia, and again, congratulations for your appointment as a national ambassador for child protection issues in Mongolia. So is there any particular campaigns or initiatives that you are excited about that we are doing together in the future?
Yes, in the past, through our own НҮБ Sustainability Fund, we helped rebuild about 6 kindergartens and many schools renovation and hospitals as well. But I'm particularly excited to shift my focus into helping health issues in Mongolia with related to our very problem, pollution in the winter. We all know that everybody breathes the same air. So we have a lot of issues with our respiratory pulmonology hospital. It is non-existent at the moment in NÜБ city. So I'm very happy to be part of the development of the city's first respiratory hospital for children. Again, we don't have such a separate hospital. It's much needed in the wintertime. We don't have enough beds for children in the wintertime when things get very severe. And with UNICEF's initiative in health area and alongside continuing our own efforts in the educational sector, very happy to be proud of it.
Mm-hmm. You and your company is a good example leading a change in Mongolia. It's one of the big group companies in Mongolia. So I'm interested to know what would be your advice to development sector organizations, specifically for UNICEF. What should we do better to attract more private sector companies engaging in child rights issues in business?
Well, businesses and private sector, we have a unique platform and resources to make real change, and combining that together with UNICEF's, powerful focus. I think that's a great collaboration, and businesses want to help in general, but they need clarity around how to help with directions. And different areas of their operations might attract different businesses to be maybe more excited about participating. So I think UNICEF is already doing a great job everywhere around the world. It's a huge organization, communicating with the private sector in terms of how they can help in which areas of their interest, and showing them also through storytelling how they can make real impact versus, we have many big institutions throughout the world that strive for big change. But again, at the private sector level, we have a unique position to make impact straight away. So we usually ask for direct outcome. So showing that to the private sector through storytelling, through how their contribution actually helped relieve poverty, alleviated certain situations with child abuse and environment and children getting education. I think that would be very efficient for ways to help companies get involved with UNICEF's mission.
Of course. So if we look at it from the other side, UNICEF is providing the guidance and all the standards and promoting the child rights. And you already mentioned about the private sectors has a unique position. And in your opinion, if there are any companies that they don't know how to start, but they have a warm heart and they want to contribute to children, how they should start?
So I think this is a great initiative that I'm being part of, right? Through appointing ambassadors, I think we have a unique voice as well, communicating to the fellow business leaders in helping them how they can also get involved. And again, my focus might be in just children's health and education sector, but there's so many other ways that businesses can be involved. Mongolia is such a unique country where we have vast rural area, and businesses in the mining sector are, again, in very remote regions. And they can't continue without their own workers' demands and needs being met through their raising families and educating their children in remote areas. So I think there's the demand and need already there. So with UNICEF's outreach in these rural areas and communities and staying informed, through what you're already doing, and through the ambassadors, and maybe through the local government initiatives. There you have a lot of partnerships, not just with the private sector, but local governments and some levels. And we have Children's Day coming up and many events in Mongolia, like Mother's Day, Children's Day, health protection, awareness days. And through these kind of initiatives, I think people can be more informed.
Now let's shift our conversation to a more personal side. You are a good role model for many women in Mongolia in terms of women leading a change in the society. And I'm interested to know who were your role models growing up?
I'm honored to have a great mother in my life. And I think as women and mothers, we should all know that, we have a great influence over our children. And, we're their greatest inspiration, raising them. So my mother in my life was my role model. She taught me, how to be resilient and strong, facing difficult life situations in life. Growing up, my father passed away very early. So my mother was raising me and my sister while she was establishing our companies back then. So I watched her, balancing everything in life, and as a single mother of household, and also dealing with so many difficult issues in male-dominated, sector, heavy industries, and mining at the time was very harsh to women. And I watched her struggle, but every struggle seemed to fuel her resilience. And she was a teacher who taught me that, as women, we're not, weaker in terms of our education and intelligence than men. And we can do anything in life if we strive hard enough. And professionally, I've been inspired by leaders who combine intelligence with empathy. So, people who use their influence to lift others has been effective, I think, in their leadership, more than those who have been just physically strong and powerful by their position in government. Leadership, in my view, is not just about power. I don't think it's about power at all. It's about service.
Serving what you can to create a good impact in the society.
Yeah, helping others.
Yeah.
Yes, helping others in the society, those who need our help.
Yeah, I think it's a really good message for, especially for younger girls, to say that you are not weaker than any man. You have all the power and
or weaker than each other. We all deserve, education, and whether that's higher education, or it's really up to you and how high you wanna go, and it could be limitless. The opportunities. I mean, with UNICEF and how you were brought up in families, you're given certain avenues for education, and there's so many other ways that you can expand that possibility.
Many people see you as a woman who is doing a good balance on professional and personal life, and you are also a mother and a wife. So I'm interested to know what are your tips to the younger girls who are striving to be like you when they grow up? What is the good balance for them?
I can say safely that it's not about perfection. I'm no way of, being perfect by any means, but for me it's about prioritizing rather than trying to make everything perfect in your list for the day. So my advice would be that at any given moment in time, prioritizing what needs to be done, is a very important skill. That also reduces your stress level. So if your children are very important today, maybe because they're sick, then take off. Take the day off from work, focus on their health, and don't be ashamed of anything like that. Because children are your priority for the day. And I would never let guilt make the decisions for us. And just because you had to take the day off, cared for your children while they were sick, and then now you're feeling guilty to come back to work, that shouldn't be the case. Because life is always about prioritizing. And as mothers, we have so many important responsibilities to balance carefully. So my advice would be to know that, you have a trade-off, and you can prioritize those responsibilities at any given situation.
In relation to that answer, I'm also interested to know how your company is providing this opportunity to your employees or staffs, specifically for women, to take care of their family and balance the professional and personal life.
So as most of our management level people are, women, we understand, of course, what happens at home, and again, how those priorities change. So we are very flexible in terms of work balance hours at work. And then at the plant site, we invite not just the employee, but the entire family to live at the plant site in our residential apartments. We have built almost 200 apartments for our employees. And in a remote region, it's almost as comfortable as living in the city in terms of accommodation. So at any given season, you'd feel like you're at home. So they have changed the residency from, city to Urgunsun, for example, and they have permanent residency there as a family. And then we also encourage not just the employee of that family to work at the plant, but also whoever from the family can work. We don't have a policy against, if one person works and then other family members are prohibited. We actually encourage both husband and, wife working at the plant. And maybe, one of the spouses can lead the kindergarten as a teacher. So we'd like to encourage everybody to get involved in some sort of activity. So we understand family life. We understand our responsibility as mothers, which shift in priorities as we give birth, raise our children, and the need of educating our children. So right now we're working at ways to help, children who are growing up requiring high school level education in Urgunsun. We don't have proper high schools developed in far remote regions such as Urgung. So now our focus is to how to create that learning environment for our families that are having older children nowadays.
It's such a great community that you built in Urgunsum, and also our UNICEF team once visited
That's
last
right.
year. Yeah, and we witnessed everything that you are doing, and thank you so much for that. And to wrap up, is there any closing statement or messages that you would like our listeners to stay with?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be part of UNICEF mission in Mongolia. I mean, as a mother of 4, and as a citizen who want nothing but the best for our country's future, our future is our children. So as mothers, we don't just take care of our individual lives. We have to take care of those lives who are dependent on us, our children, who also look up to us as leaders of the family in most cases. We have to be very mindful of our role in society and our families as well. And as business leaders, I encourage rest of our private sector leaders to get involved with UNICEF's mission. And for example, I'd like to mention what we did recently, that we helped renovate the emergency unit at the National Center for Maternal Health and Children. And that is now a very comfortable environment for both working staff and doctors, as well as for visiting patients there. And we constructed the emergency ramp roads for the emergency unit there, and just to see that and how people are reacting and how that's actually saving lives in terms of people have limited time when they need emergency service, and to help create that for the very needed areas such as the emergency unit, and it's just very fulfilling. So like I said, we, the private sector, the businesses, have a very strong and unique position and resources to help make real impact. And therefore, this collaboration with UNICEF is, I think, very fruitful.
We really appreciate what you did in the past and what you are going to do in the future. And we really great to have your arm in our efforts. And thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.